violence. We out here doing things, never be silent. You already see what came through with violence.
Right on top the world in electric sliding. Now we got to dance, they electro flying. Look how we do it and rep the violence. They been dancing, we need no violence.
Ain't no violence here, we bring it on the flavor. Up in the spot, yeah, we dancing like Jamaicans. Yeah, we doing this shit. I ain't flying to LA, we like African plane.
Rapping and shit.
Check. Peace, y'all. Welcome to the 6 Degrees podcast, where instead of separation, we choose to focus on the ties that bind. Come on. This is a hell of a day right here. This is a day. Fortunately, we family in here, so y'all know what it is. Yeah, my camera's been acting up the last few weeks or so. And, as old church folk will say, that ain't nothing but the devil. Ain't nothing but the devil trying to come up in here. Anyway, welcome to the 6 Degrees podcast, where instead of separation, we choose to explore the ties that bind and focus on those things that keep us connected. I'm your host, Bel-Ami, here each and every Wednesday, 9 p.m. Eastern. Listen, I have a special guest today. Her name is Simone, and I can't wait for you all to find out how we, and maybe even you, are connected. 6 Degrees podcast. Check this intro. I still need to put some intro music behind this joint. But for the time being, just watch these dope ass visuals, because that's how we rock. Listen, wherever you are, I'd like you to really quickly, first of all, I want to thank you for tuning in. But also, whatever you're doing right now, just pause, take a quick second to follow, like, subscribe. Click that like button. It really does us a big favor and allows us to get this broadcast out to more people, so that we can bring some value into your lives, introduce you to some new people, get some cool stuff. I see y'all already got the chat popping. I love it. Y'all already know what it is. First question I always ask is, what's your temperature? Let me know in the chat, what's your temperature? I think it's important that we understand our temperature so we know how to engage one another. Right now, my temperature, I'm good, in spite of these technical difficulties, man. I'm in a great space. I would have to say my temperature is like a 72. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can go to the park. You know what I'm saying? You can wear long or short sleeves. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's gonna look at you crazy. 72 is like, you can't wear like well, in New York, you get away with a hoodie in 72, because it's gonna be some breeze, especially if you're on the beach somewhere. But yeah, I'm good. And there's nothing that can deter that or change that, especially because I got my sis with me today. And before I go further, just drop in the chat. Let me know what your temperature is. I see Edson feeling amazing, 95 degrees. It's interesting. Every time I ask that question, I'm always intrigued by how people interpret it. You know what I mean? So like, some people's 95 is like amazing, and other people's 95 is like, yo, you pissing me off, bro. But I love it. Cherie says 68, kind of cool. Dig it. Like that. Drop in the chat. Let me know what your temperature is. My next guest I'm about to bring on, it's so much I could say about her, but she is definitely a New Yorker, and she can say it for herself. And she will let you know she can speak for herself, because that's what they do in New York. You know what I'm saying? I'm still trying to work on my New York accent, but I'm definitely from the South, bro. Anyway, when I think of community, this is who I think of. Community that embodies, like, she is the embodiment of community, and seeing her community thrive and even pushing for her community to thrive. And that's why she's on the show. So y'all, please welcome my sis, Miss Simone.
Yeah.
What up?
A shout out to Key in the windowsill. All right.
Oh,
Cool.
Everybody wants to be on 6 Degrees podcast,
Man, 15 minutes of fame, my guy.
Yes, sir. What's your temperature tonight?
Ooh, I'm like a cool 75.
75.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm a nice. I agreed with you earlier. You know what I'm saying? You can still wear the hoodie. Might be a small breeze.
Yeah.
But I can do the long or the short sleeve, wear some cool colors or some warm colors.
You know what I'm saying?
I enjoy it.
You can rock that salmon that you got. You know what I'm saying? Popping right now.
Shout out to Fudge. She's got the dope art. Mike, can I?
Come on, show. Let's plug. Let's plug.
She's spray painted the back.
Dope.
Word.
Shout out to Fudge wherever you are. Hopefully you're watching the 6 Degrees podcast. If not, somebody's gonna tell you that you got shouted out, and then you should start watching. Or at least just watch this episode.
That's a fact.
Or you know what I'm saying? Maybe we'll get connected some kind of way. Yeah. So you know what? I want to give people a chance to like really see what you do before we get to talking. Cool. And so I'm gonna run back that video because there was some technical stuff on my end that I didn't have the audio working right. I apologize. So we're gonna run this video back just because I think it's really dope. And if you would like, you can talk over it as it's
very cool. I will.
So here we go. We're gonna run this all the way back to the beginning. And I think
shout
it's
out
really,
to Edson. Oh, really we got the homies. Hi, Cherie. We need the audio though. I mean, we need that video. Excuse me. That was my old rooftop. That rooftop is legendary. Shout out to Forest Ave. That was a good party. I didn't even know the drone was flying. We thought it were the ops.
Who's to tell? Who breaks loose and niggas like the dude named
Shout out to Ridgewood, Queens.
Break your uncle's mama's back song, but that's gorilla gas, gorilla units like 50 had my back.
Oh, this is Eric Lewis, a legend.
shouts out to my brother E.
Yes, sir. And he put in them efforts that day.
Let's just talk.
Jeez.
Is my favorite vocalist, man. Really.
Oh gosh.
Great voices, man.
A legend.
That rooftop is legendary, man.
Definitely.
Y'all drop an emoji in the chat what you think about this video. Phase, shouts out to Phase. The hairless Phase.
Those are my brothers. Oh yes, this is at the new spot now. My brother Snacks.
Yes.
That was fun.
Yeah.
Noah, aka the Funky Jew, on bass.
I love it.
That's definitely his Instagram. He is one of the baddest, youngest players in this scene that I've met recently. He's dope.
So these are all at your jam sessions, right?
Yeah, these are all live improv moments. Everything.
Yeah, when I saw this, I was like, wow, this is the perfect pairing.
Oh man, this was an experience. Jeez. Shout out to Osiris Anthem, Dizzy Sense,
Yes.
who probably, definitely like top 5 rappers in the game, not just in New York, like in the game.
Ain't no violence here, we bring it on the flavor. I'm on the spot, yeah, we think like Jamaicans. Yeah, we catching this shit. I ain't flying to LA, we like African plane.
And a bag of the chips.
Come on.
Shout out to Sultan Room, the first venue I ever hosted a house party in. The place is beautiful. And it's run by musicians who care about quality, which is the reason why I even did it there in the first place.
Yo, so listen, I just had to play that because I wanted to start off the podcast with that so people can actually see, you know what I'm saying? So as you talk, because, you know, people may have their own ideas of what a house party is. And so when you talk about that house party, though, it's like, okay, they're basing it on their understanding of what a house party is. And so I didn't want to get into necessarily that talk right away.
Yeah.
Since we here, let's just have it. And you know what I'm saying? We'll start from here and we'll get all the rest of the crap. Not crap, because it's not crap. We'll get through all the rest of the stuff.
Cool.
Afterwards. So Simone, how did this begin?
Cool. It started as a birthday party. I've never been one to really celebrate my birthday in a big way. I usually just have a dinner with some friends. And I lived in a tiny 2-bedroom apartment in Harlem.
Yeah.
Shout out to 666 Harlem. I lived in the basement of 666.
Come on, that is
West 145th Street. So yeah, I was there, and then we had a few friends come over. I was like, yo, I'm having some friends over. We had a little setup. I was in a band. It's kind of when I first started the scene. I started getting into the local scene. And then what happened? A lot more people showed up than we thought.
Yeah. And
we were like, okay, let's vibe. And then a homie of mine at the time, Mike Muhammad, he also lived in Harlem. He's a drummer. And he offered up his apartment, his basement apartment in Harlem. And he had access to the back of the building, like, because he lived in the basement. He was the only apartment down there. But in certain buildings in Harlem, they're all connected through the back way. So you can be in the back way to, let's say, throw out your trash and then end up walking to the next building over. You have the key to it, you can get in. But either way, it was a big old open space. So we decided to buy a grill and be like, yo, another birthday party. Boom. Next summer came around and like 300 people showed up.
Wow.
And I was like, what the fuck is happening? We should make this a regular thing.
Yeah.
And that's what it became. First, it was a summer thing. And then I moved over to Putnam Ave. So shout out to Putnam Ave in that first video with the rooftop. I was there for 5 years. And yeah, I ended up being more consistent because I had the space to do it. So at first, it was just a summer thing. I would have maybe 2 or 3 parties in summer and then drop it all fall and winter until spring started up again. And then it became more consistent when I moved into that duplex. And I had the rooftop, and then I had the furniture when I first moved in, so I have space. And I was just inviting people in during the fall and the winter because I had all the space still. And consistency was legitimately key. And because I was able to host more, it grew more, and it turned into the thing that it is now.
And so it's interesting you say that, and I did want to. I missed my first question, and this is the first time I haven't asked it, just because of the way things rolled out. But I always ask my guests, what do you remember about how we met? And you know, seeing that we're talking about that house party, though, I don't know if it was there or if it was somewhere else. What do you think, or what do you create in your mind about how we met?
There's a huge part of me that feels as though I met you at Matthew Hartnett's Gumbo Jam. I feel like that's where we first crossed paths.
Okay.
And maybe the consistency in seeing you there, because I know I was supported a lot when I first found out about it, and I was in a co-employee with Matt. Yeah, I feel like I might have seen you there, but I can't pinpoint it exactly either. But it's to me, I'm feeling like there's a 99% chance it was at Matt Jam.
It probably was, and you know, real talk, Matt. As I'm going through, and I've thought about, okay, who do I want to have on the show? Everybody I know through Matt. Matt is like the ultimate plug.
He's the OG, one of the OGs.
It's crazy. It's crazy. For sure. All my connections are through Matt. You know what I'm saying? We branch out, and you know, I think that's what's beautiful though, is that you know, we have a community that is unafraid to share the community. You know what I'm saying? And it's not like, oh, well, I know this person, but I'm not going to introduce you to this person because, you know, whatever. And so I just think that's beautiful. But I know consistently I was seeing you at your house parties, which is crazy because it's like, yeah, I met you at your, I'm seeing you at your house more than I see you in the street.
Word. I don't know. I feel like we had two different cliques,
Yeah.
and I guess it's cool that's where we came together. But yeah, I feel like in the beginning I wasn't really out and about like that. I was very local. I mean, I'm still local, but I was doing way less back then too.
Yeah. And I'm sorry to pause you. I'm acting like this is not bothering me, but this really.
You better work through it though. Come on now.
You're doing it. We are working through it.
Absolutely.
This is active. You know what I'm saying? This ain't no passive work through. We get through things. How persistent. Anyway, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you good. You good. But yeah, what were we saying? I forgot.
Clicks, different clicks.
Yeah, we had two different clicks because I was doing way less, and that's what it was. Like, in that time, I wasn't gigging as much. I had just gotten back into the scene and really just discovered it. So prior to that, I wasn't doing anything, and then so I wasn't gigging a lot or anything like that. I hadn't played piano in like 8-9 years.
So that leads me to my next question, because of course it was a birthday party, but I always believe today is only for tomorrow. And so that birthday party was the tomorrow. So I want to know what those other todays were like before you got to that point where you were like, okay, I'm having these parties and okay, I'm gonna pick back up the keyboard. Or how was that? Like, how did you get into music in the first place?
My mom put me in piano lessons when I was a kid. And then she was a Jamaican that kept me very busy. And, with every extracurricular activity, every after school program known to man, piano was definitely one of those activities. And I took that through high school. I went to an arts high school, and then I stopped playing. Life was life, and music wasn't the priority as much as I loved it. It unfortunately was not the priority. And I ended up just having to kind of grow up and tough things out the hard way. And so it put a hard stop on music. And I, was young, dumb and reckless, or not really dumb and reckless, but discovering who I was because I was very sheltered as a child. So when I got into the streets and the scene in the South Bronx and kind of where I developed my character, music wasn't really part of that. Well, music was part of that in a different way. I ended up doing a lot of clubbing, a lot of listening to a hell of a lot of house music, doing a lot of dance, going out to a whole bunch of different places and clubbing like legit 2 or 3 times a week. It was crazy. Wow. I was reckless. That was the dumb and reckless part of my life.
Yo, that takes intense stamina.
Yo, it's crazy.
Especially in the
It was crazy. But honey, I was consistent. And then what happened? I guess, life was slowing down, and I started dating somebody who introduced me to a woman named Del Novella. I don't remember what came first. I think it might have been the lesson, actually. Melanie Charles, shout out to Melanie Charles. I went to high school with her. I put up a Facebook post saying, I'm bored. Please say that there's something to do tonight. Anybody know anything that's popping in New York right now? And she was like, yo, come to Arlene's Grocery. And it was a wrap. I fell in love, and I literally went to Arlene's Grocery every Thursday for 3 years straight. I never missed one.
Wow.
And then I felt bad when I did because I had something to do. 3 years later, I missed a Thursday, and I felt bad. That's how deeply involved and rooted I was in that session. And then I was introduced to a woman named Del Novella, and I started playing for The Poet Will Be Televised. And that was literally maybe 3 or 4 months after I got a keyboard that was gifted to me by my old music director in church, who was like, why the hell are you not playing? And she's like, I got a spare 88 keys, a little shitty keyboard, but I'll give it to you just so you can keep playing. And she gave it to me. I held on to it for about 1.5 years before I gave it back to her and got my own. But between going to the lesson, starting an event, and being in the house televised, which was a local event that ran in New York for about 4 or 5 years, I believe. And then, yeah.
Dope. Listen, I always find it interesting. I was talking to my boy Ike about this. because he was telling me, he was my first guest on the podcast.
Mhm.
He was telling me how, there was a bass just in the corner of a room,
Mm.
and he had hurt himself playing drums or something like that, and he just started picking up the bass.
Mm.
And I was like, who put that there? You know what I mean? And so when you think about like people like what I can't remember her name, you said, who gave you the keyboard?
Yeah, her name was Miss Caldwell, Anna Caldwell.
To give you a keyboard, just like, yo, I need you to do this.
Yeah.
And setting the stage for everything else. Like, that's her playing her part.
Word. It was kind of crazy.
In your whole story. I do want to acknowledge really quickly, man, this chat is going up right now. I love it. If I can get to it. First off, let me just shout out. Melissa's in here. What's up? Saint showing you some love. Listen, I love this. We got Saint and Cherie in the building. This mother-daughter combo. You know what I'm saying? This is how we do on the 6 Degrees. We bring whole families together on the 6 Degrees podcast. You know what I'm saying? Only Simone can do this.
Yeah, this is funny.
If only the families could ensure that my camera would stop going offline. That would be come on. Listen, next time it goes off, I'm just about to give the show over to you. And you just
Copy, I got you. Send me the script. I'll interview myself. I'll interview you in the process. Be like, how you doing over there?
They said stop. Okay,
Gotcha.
stop. I'm gonna
Oh my God, stop. I can hear it right now. Oh my God, stop.
Okay, so you get back in the piano.
Word.
Got these house parties
popping.
When did you notice, like, okay, because there's a moment where you're like, okay, this goes from party to, okay, this is a brand that not only do I have to like really put some energy into and cultivate, but I have to protect it. And one thing I know about you and I appreciate about you is that you protect your brand at all costs. You do. And I've seen you, listen, I've seen you know real quick. I case in point, the last time I saw you really get wild with somebody when it was 4th of July. Do you remember this?
Vaguely, please continue.
4th of July, 2019.
Oh my.
And it was a rooftop session. And I remember because that video was from that particular session. I remember because I went with my homeboys and we stayed like till late in the evening. And like they were shooting fireworks off the
fuck.
They were shooting fireworks off the rooftop. And then all I see is you come around the corner like, what? And the rest doesn't need to be said. You said enough then. But I say all of that to say, like, it's beautiful. It's beautiful because this is what you do, the work you do is such an important part of the community that you've created that like you can't risk it not being there because then the community suffers from it. Like, when did you recognize like, okay, this is something that I need to really, really focus on?
Maybe about a year or two. When I first moved to Putnam, like 5 years ago, I had just gotten laid off. And so I had a lot of time on my hands. I decided not to go back to work. They fortunately provided us with a stipend or not workers comp, sorry. Whatever they do when they give you when they're severance, that part. So they gave us a severance package. And I was like, you know what? This is the first time where I can settle and really not go to work. And so I was like, well, I can throw these more consistently and I can say yes to more things. When I started saying yes to more things, whether it had been gigs or just, minor opportunities, local opportunities, working with artists, things of that nature, reciprocating that energy and those opportunities for either just little to nothing or more for a barter of service. It's like, this little $50 ain't gonna do me nothing. But how about you show up to my joint or you buy a ticket or you work my show or you come to my show, I go to yours, or help you here and you support my band, or, you know what I'm saying? when I started doing that more, I was like, all right, this is becoming a consistent thing, and I need to do this a little bit more often. And then shout out to The Lesson, because I really learned a lot from them. Honestly, The Lesson is, without hesitation, without doubt, the grandfather of that house party, though. If I never went to The Lesson, there would not be a house party, and I can probably very much assure that. So learning what I was seeing, going to The Lesson every week there, being excited about that, and kind of transferring what I was studying and looking into to my joint in regards to holding a standard and quality for the house parties, I was like, this is a thing.
Yeah.
This is a thing. And then honestly too, the energy that I would put into it, I took it very seriously. Everything from buying the food and prepping the food. Shout out to my boy Juan, who's my head chef. He's been my grill man and my head chef for years. The energy that we would put, that he would put into that, to feeding the people, to being able to break bread with the people, to all the bartenders that I had, Cheeky, Rigo, Joya, like there've been so many dope folks who have facilitated this movement. It was like, it was just a beautiful come together, and I felt like it needed to sustain. So maybe about a year and a half, like I said, or two into moving into Putnam 5 years ago, where I was like, all right, this will be consistent, and not only now will it be consistent, this is a thing. Let's give it a name, and let's just rock with it and see what happens.
Yeah. So how'd you come up with that house party though?
I was talking.
Let me just tell you my story. I feel like I have stories for everything that whether it be real or not, it's real to me. I feel like you was having a conversation and you're trying to tell somebody about what it is, and you know, they were like, it's a house party. It was like, you may have been to a house party, but you ain't been to this house party though.
So
in my mind, how it happened. Now
it's similar, but it didn't come from somebody else as far as the phrase was concerned. However, the tag though, there was a point when I got really close to my brothers from The Lesson, Lenny Reese, Phase One, Jay Horde, Julian Pollock, all my brothers, Christian Almiron. Oh my gosh. We used to hang out a lot, especially in Arlene's Grocery after the jam session. And there was just like an era where everybody was saying though. And it made things funnier. It was just stupid. You know what I'm saying? It was just stupid talk. It was like, yo, you gonna go to the store though? Whatever it was, they just added though to the end of it for no reason.
Yeah.
And these guys, especially if you know Lenny, he's a fool. He is one of the funniest motherfuckers I know. He is so stupid, and his humor is different. So him doing the funny, stupid, quirky things, and then FaZe would tag on, and FaZe just talks hard. He from the Bronx. He talks with his hands. He do all of this. You know, we know FaZe, right? So you add that emphasis from a dude like him, and it stuck. So in that era, was when I was looking for a name, or searching for a name. And I've always been one to try to either think of something unique or try to think of something that sticks out. So if you can Google it, you don't run into a bunch of different of the same thing.
Right.
You know, trying to be found. So yeah, I was like, yo, I just wanted to fit in a sentence. I wanted to be discreet. And that's how it came along. I was just like, yo, just call it That House Party though. And that was it. Like you don't have to say what the house party is, because a lot of people title their things and name it.
Yeah.
I was like, nah, I just wanted to fit in a sentence. Yo, you going to that house party though? And then people automatically know what it is without having to say a lot.
Dope. And it's so interesting. And you know, in the promo clip that we did for this, you said something I really, really find profound in that, because it's not just I'm doing this because it's fun and cool. But it's like really to change the narrative of how we're perceived, you know, as consumers of, you know, culture, or as creators and consumers of culture. And so when we enter spaces where we're actually bringing the cultures, oftentimes people don't want our element for some reason.
That's a fact.
And so can you speak a bit on that?
Absolutely. I've personally, and I'll just speak from experience, gone through situations and been in parts of bands and other entities and brands that have attempted to book their brand within these venue spaces in New York. And it's 21 questions.
Mm.
Who are you? How many people are you bringing? You know, it's always money driven at first. And then the follow-up is, what type of music are you playing? What are you bringing to the space? You know, they literally judge you on the crowd that you bring. It's really fucking sickening. And it was getting me upset every time I would see or be part of an entity that had to face that.
Yeah.
The only way that wasn't happening is when they would just save big money to like rent a warehouse in the middle of fucking nowhere. There was nothing conveniently located for them, you know, and even still, if it was booked, there was always a shitty experience. Like I said, they're usually pushing the bread first. There's nothing in it for the brand themselves. There's nothing in it for the artists that are hauling ass to make your venue look good,
Right.
you know? And you know, they stereotype it. And I'm sick. I was sick of it. I was really sick of it. It was one of the main reasons why I always held a house party within somebody's crib.
Mm.
I didn't want to support these venues because of the experiences that I saw, and I was really over it because we are, you know, we're the pawns, we're the face, but then we're treated like the pawns, like the lesser valued part, protecting one small entity that is what? This building, this venue, like, get the fuck out of here. Like, no, we can do this shit ourselves. The conversations that I would have with friends is like, yo, let's maybe get a brownstone together first, convert that. Let's think bigger and buy a building, convert that. Let's get our own shit and stop relying on these shitty venues who only want to worry about how much you bring into their bar or how many tickets you're selling.
Man.
And it sucks to feel like that as an artist on the receiving end, where you have to worry more about almost like selling your ass to get people to come to your show. That the venue space doesn't really do much to promote. It was ridiculous. It's not a symbiotic relationship there. Like it's just one hand washing one, you know, my hand washing your hand. That shit didn't make any sense to me. So it's integral for us to protect our valuables. Like, we are the culture.
Come on now. We are the valuables.
I'm highly sensitive about what happens in this community, in this space, in this city, my city. I'm born and bred here. I'm from the Bronx. I'm very sensitive about what the fuck is happening in my city. I have physically seen it change over the years. I have physically seen my people, families, friends get pushed out of their neighborhoods. I've, you know, played drums at 6:00 p.m. and gotten the cops called on me. It's like, bitch, if you didn't want noise, don't move to New York. So it's just interesting. It's just interesting to see that, and it's honestly frustrating as fuck. So I'm, again, just hypersensitive about protecting what we have, and in essence also trying to create something for us.
Yeah.
I don't question folks, and shout out to the space that I live in, Blank Bamboo, shout out to Y, shout out to Amiano. We got this space with the full intent on running a community space together underground while COVID and quarantine was happening, because all these venues weren't providing any spaces or anything. They weren't budging. They were, you know, bedridden under, you know, state laws. And I get it. However, there was still a necessary space and need for the arts and culture. You killed a lot of careers. You know what I'm saying? And the city didn't do shit to help us. That little $1,400 stimmy, or that stupid little $1,000 stimmy, or that $1,000 little PPP fucking loan at the beginning is laughable.
Yeah, to last the whole year.
You know, I was like, what? You didn't do anything for us. And then, you know, tackle that on, especially artists being sensitive humans to begin with. You add the mental health issues that come along with when you strip them away of everything that they knew at one point.
Yeah,
absolutely not. So people, you know, and this will lead into something else, but people, you know, came for me because I was still hosting shit during the quarantine. Yeah. I wasn't scared. Right. People wanted to shut their windows. They didn't even want to open their fucking windows anymore. And I'm like, bitch, I got a dog to walk, first of all.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I got to walk around my block for 20 minutes regardless. So I'm going to be breathing in all this air you telling me not to even, you know,
Shouts out to Mars. Shouts out to Mars.
Shout out to Mars. And then after that, I just became more comfortable because I had shit to do. My life didn't stop after quarantine shut down. I still had to work. I still had to step out my house. I still had things to do. So while most of the city was shut down, myself and my little quarantine crew, we just got on the rooftop and kept pushing.
Yeah.
And that essentially got bigger. A couple months in, people started sliding in my DMs like, yo, are you hosting anything? When it was taboo in the beginning of the fucking year to do anything, you know?
Yeah.
People sliding in my DMs 2 months later because they needed it.
Yeah.
It helped their heart. It helped their soul. You feel me?
I'm
So,
glad you said that because and it's real. We're real with each other. At first, I was like, "Yo, why Simone still throwing these joints?" But now that I hear, like, there's always two sides to everything. You know what I mean? And for whatever it is, we talk straight. But it's like, there's that. I guess I totally missed that part of it, but I also at the same time recognize that I needed that as well. Of course, I had my wife to consider, but I think our levels of concern were different and varying. But when you have a partner, that's what you have to do. So, and also, I had an album that I was working on, so I like delved into that part of the creative process, and I was okay being by myself. But I do recognize that I had the benefit and the privilege of having someone with me. Just that, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people in our community don't have that.
They didn't.
A lot of them are very nomadic, and a lot of them, you know how New York is. Everybody is there with nothing. Dreams. And so I appreciate you for that, for providing that space. And everybody's able to to determine, their level of comfortability in being a part of that. And it's no hard feelings, no way.
Exactly. That's the thing.
But I totally hadn't considered that aspect of it. And I'm glad you clarified that.
It was for me too, bro. Like I was like, wow, this was all swept away in one swift kick and shutdown of this city.
Yeah.
Musicians and artists were hurt the hardest and were hurt first. Then, everything else started to shut down and they started to categorize essential businesses, et cetera, et cetera.
And then we come back last.
Oh my gosh. Like you at the time, you really couldn't tell me shit. I was like, I need this. And whoever's down for it, we create a little quarantine crew. And that's it. We only hang out with each other. There were about 8 of us, maybe 10 of us max. And we only went to each other's houses. That was it. Like we didn't really go far. I was working from home anyway. I didn't have much to do, but we were all just in our own little triangle. And then it was like, no, we need to keep creating. I don't get it. It's not going to stop. Like, I was like, I'm not going to stop doing this shit.
Yeah.
And, more information started to roll out. In the beginning, we didn't know much. And then, we essentially just started to grow. And like I said, a couple months in, people were just like, yo, I haven't seen anybody in 2 months. I haven't been outside out of a 2-block radius in 2 months. Yo, you doing something today? Can I come through? All right, bro. It's on my rooftop. There's space. We can socially distance, whatever you want to do, whatever is in your comfort zone. I didn't judge anybody for staying in, and I didn't judge anybody for coming out. Like it was what it was. Yeah. And that was it. So as much flack as I honestly did take in 2020, I clearly didn't give that many fucks about people's opinion, and I'm okay with that. And my city still had a culture to maintain, and that's just what it was, bro. That's just my personal opinion.
No, totally. And I appreciate that about you, that the fucks given are very little.
Little to none. My garden is barren, bro.
And of all people, it's so funny, man. I've totally gotten entertained by your Facebook sometimes, because you will go all the smoke on all the internet.
I was always willing to have the conversation, though. That's the thing. People I know for a fact are intimidated by me. I get it. However, I wasn't intimidating to the point where I would never want to hold a discussion. I would never get rude or irate to the point where people don't want, or I don't invite people to come and talk to me. That was an internal thing. They needed to figure themselves out, and when they wanted to have that conversation. However, I was never one to stop it. I literally told people, come, let's discuss. Let's break bread. I invite people to the crib all the fucking time to break bread and chop it up. Let's do that. But if you just want to talk behind closed doors, you're more than welcome to do that too. I just don't want to hear your bullshit. I gave you more than enough opportunity to sit adult to adult and let's share experiences or let's share opinions. We can agree to disagree. That's fine.
Absolutely.
But people don't want to do that, and that's cool. That's cool. They just over there and I'm over here. It's all good.
Totally. I totally get that. So that time, right? You moved. So all of the efforts that you're trying to make with like changing the narrative of our culture, which led you to open your own venue space, which is called Blank Bamboo. And I think that's such a dope name because that's what it is. That's literally what it was, what it is. It's definitely not blank now. You know what I mean? And there's definitely, you've inserted some energy and some life into that space. And just talk a bit about that.
Absolutely. So my boy, Y, aka Why Not Show Love, he has his brand called Creative Expressions. And him and I started looking for a commercial space last summer. It wasn't working out for us. Fortunately, it fell through. The only space that we had that was viable for the work that we wanted to do ended up not being a thing. And it's funny because it was the same shit that I just spoke about earlier. It was a dude of a different culture who, their culture usually runs this city. They own all the fucking buildings in New York.
Mm-hmm.
They were like, oh, I spent, after an interview with them, and as beautiful as it sounded, oh, I've invested $20,000 in this space for soundproofing and boom, 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 boom. And it was a nice, like, floating room with, room within a room. It was soundproofed. It was perfect for what we wanted to do. And then he literally asked me, what type of music am I playing?
Why does that matter?
I shit you not. This was on Irving in Ridgewood, border of Ridgewood and Bushwick. Irving Studios. And he asked me this dumb shit. And I was like, I'm sorry, is that relevant? Because you stated that you've invested so much in the soundproofing. What's good? Either way, one thing led to another and that fell through. So after that, we stopped looking for a commercial space. It was really difficult to find a viable space. And then life started lifing. And Y and I were both in a place where we needed to move out of our homes at the time. So we started looking for an apartment together. Solo and as a unit. And eventually I just started going bigger. And I was like, well, if we can't find a decent commercial space, let's look for a big ass apartment if we can and see how we can, work that one out. So we eventually found a 6-bedroom here in East Williamsburg. And the shit was big as fuck. It's got like 20-foot ceilings, 25-foot ceilings. It's just big. It's clearly a commercial space that they've converted into a residential space. Mm-hmm. And so we saw it and I was like, yo, this is the vibe. 6-bedroom, 4-bathroom. All right, boom. Wow. Let's talk to the dudes. We spoke to the landlords and we were like, yo, if you can break these walls down, we won't negotiate this rent. Because that's what he was most concerned about. Because in New York, everything started going down because of the market. Everybody's moving out. Landlords are lowering their rent now, yada, yada. He was like, oh, the last person tried to negotiate lower than what this is. You can take it at that and we'll do the construction for you. All right, bet. Wow. Do the construction. We need these walls gone and we'll take this space. Wow. And they opened up the walls and the 2 bedrooms that were here is now our stage area. And then you've got the general living space and then you've got the kitchen area over there, and so we essentially were like, all right, we'll take it. Boom. And we're like, this is going to be an underground haven for this city. Nobody's open. No fucking venues are letting people in. At the moment, we moved in December. The outdoors restaurants, who the fuck wants to sit and eat dinner in a blizzard? That don't make no damn sense.
I don't get that either.
So yeah, that's what ended up happening. We became like that spot. And this was on top of what I was already doing at my apartment before I even moved. So when I shifted over here, I was like, oh, come on, we can do this in the wintertime. Let's go. And that's what happened. And so we started, collaborating on everything. We were just like, yo, we're the only 2 people who are ready for this type of move. I've been trying to do this shit for years, and he's the only one who was ready for it and was willing to take a risk. As was I. You know, we were ready for each other essentially, and it became a beautiful meld. And Blank Bamboo, it was like blank slate, because not only because of these white walls, but
Just so
that
people
was
get an
me.
idea of this. This was the first that I saw of Blank Bamboo. And I remember like commenting on the photo. I'm like, what?
That's just the kitchen, baby.
Because I'm like, okay. I'm like, listen, just so you can understand, can you tell the people how tall you are?
Oh, I'm like 5'7".
Okay.
That counter is at least 3 feet high. And I was sitting Indian style on that joint. That's my kitchen counter. It's about 15 feet long. I got my little washer dryer in the corner, 2 bathrooms.
I really want people to see this is the space. Like, it's humongous, but it's beautiful.
And we live here. It's a live workspace, and we did it for the people. We wouldn't do this to be, outlandishly I can't. What the fuck? No, it's like I don't have that to be doing this just for shits and giggles. Like, we literally got this with the intent and the full intent on having a community space for the people to do what they wanted to do, especially during these times when there was literally no other space to do it in, unless somebody was thinking like ourselves and doing some shit on the low underground in their own space, out of their own commercial space. Or even if it was a commercial space, they were limited by the laws anyway. So we were like, baby, this is residential.
Yeah.
You can't touch me in here. This is my house. I can invite who the fuck I want, you know? And that's what it ended up being. So yeah, we vibing in here. We did it for the people, and the people have respectfully and so humbly returned that favor and just supporting this space. They want it as badly as we do, and they help us everywhere they can. They keep us booked and busy. We support them. We go above and beyond every time we have somebody here in the space, because we love the people, bro. Like, it's a selfless act at this point, yo. We're really about building this community and preserving the culture more than anything else.
That's beautiful. And so I just want to let people know, and I see y'all in the chat. We're about to get to y'all in a second. Real tough. We're about to get to y'all real tough. But I wanted you to talk about that, because right now, wherever you are, wherever you're watching this, if you look in your chat right now, if you follow that link, you can subscribe to or follow Blank Bamboo Instagram page. And if you need to book an event, just hit her up, man. She's easy to talk to. But also, this space is for us. It's for the culture, and I think it's beautiful. So I really wanted you to get that plug in, because I think it's amazing space. I remember the first time walking in when y'all had just moved in. I came to pick up a board, and I was just like, oh. First of all, space in New York is at a premium.
That it is.
Have space in there, just space to put your arms out, turn around without bumping into anything. That's a fact. They don't happen inside an apartment. No.
No. Space.
Space.
That is space. Right. Drink space.
Right. But I think that's really important, and I definitely want people to know that. Also, I'm gonna put a couple more things in here since you're already on this this IG kick. Y'all just go ahead right now and click that link, and it'll take you to Blank Bamboo's IG page. But you can also follow That House Party Though right here with this next link that I just put in there. And Saint says, Bamboo is so beautiful. Yes, it is. Absolutely.
Appreciate you. Yeah, I know that space part is true.
Yes, indeed. I do acknowledge, and I hadn't yet, but I see you, bro. I see you, bro. I listen. I see you, and my brother Kadre, he got in here a little while ago. We were in a heavy combo, but for those who watch the show regularly, when Kadre shows up, it's an official pipe. Hey. We are now official. Leon also said, "We love you."
Oh, Mr. Leon Evans.
And why? Shouts out to Y. That's the homie. He says Sims on life.
Oh man, I appreciate the community. I appreciate the freedom.
Shutdown really hurt a lot of artists. Music is some people's livelihood. My friend had a hard time behind it. I hoped to do some poetry while I was there, but the places I heard about were closed. Yeah, and that's tough, and that's going to be a reality for a while, I think.
Yeah, things are shifting. I will say here in New York, what they are doing now are seated events. You can't even like go up to a bar and order a drink. You have to be seated and served. So what they're doing now are like small sets, hour and a half sets for things.
Okay.
So they can get a good turnout and, get a new wave of folk on every couple hours with these venue spaces now. That's what it's seemingly limited to at the moment. I think they're raising the capacity limit to like 100 people now for certain spaces that can host that. And then it's really just contingent upon square footage. So certain venues can only hold but so many people. They got to have tables. I think by law as well, they have to serve some sort of snack or food. It's so ridiculous. Like they're making shit so difficult. Man, just come to Blank Bamboo, bro. Whatever you want to do. Like you want a poetry event, we'll freaking host a poetry event and you could walk in, order from somebody, get whatever you're looking for, come to New York. You know what I'm saying? Just come through, stand. You can't even stand. I went to a club and they were blasting the music like you could party to it. And I was sitting 2 feet away, a foot and a half away from somebody like, huh? But sitting my ass down. And every time somebody stood up, security came to sit them back down.
Are you serious?
I'm dead ass. I just went to a club like 3 weeks ago, bro.
That's crazy because so much there've literally been venues where, and you played in Herbivores, but our venues, we were like, no, we don't want sit down venues because the music, the vibe is not a sit down vibe. It's like, yo, but who, for real, who just, I mean, even some jazz music, some like real, like traditional, all acoustic stuff. You don't want to sit down to some of that because you just need to move a little bit.
Right, just a tad. You really got them like backing it up on the seat. Yeah, and that's all they can do.
Can you imagine the gumbo at a sit down? Like,
absolutely not.
Totally seated, because we had it at the Groove for a while, and there were some seats, but because we get up.
Exactly.
The majority of people in there were in the back.
Exactly, because it was open, right?
Oh man,
you can vibe, you can mingle. Trust me, it's strange, it's weird.
Shout out the brothers in here, Bobby Wesley.
Bobby!
I know we never got too close, but love what you've created. Always love your energy.
I appreciate you, Bobby.
That's a good dude right there. Love you, man. We need to catch up, bro. I need to give you a call. So listen. We have now neared my favorite part of the show, which is part of the show that I like to call There's a Song for That. But before we get into that, I just want to remind everybody, wherever you are, make sure you follow, like, subscribe. Listen, I see only a couple likes on here. I know for sure on Facebook. We got some people on Facebook. If you're watching this on Facebook as well, I ask that you migrate over to either YouTube or Twitch. Just it's personal preference. Also, I want to remind you that there are a couple ways that you can migrate over to either YouTube or Twitch. Just what you got? What's going on? Turn that down. Turn that down, sucker.
Why you acting like a job, sucker?
Listen, there's a couple ways that you can contribute to the show. The easiest way is to just comment, like, subscribe. But you can also use this thing that we got going down across the bottom. That's a Cash App, BelAmiMusic. Listen, it's coming to me, but I'm using it for the show, guaranteed. Shouts out to those who do donate on a consistent basis. We got our top donor in here, Cherie. Love you so much. She be making it happen. She be keeping the culture moving. And so thank you for for everything that y'all do. You can donate this way, or like I said, just click that like button, share it, comment below. Anyway, we're moving on. This is There's a Song for That. Now, this portion of the show is just a portion where I just believe, pictures, they say, pictures are worth 1,000 words. I think they're also worth some music as well. And this is a completely guest curated playlist curated by my guests here on the 6 Degrees podcast. And you can download and subscribe to this playlist on Spotify. I don't know why I said Spotify. That is weird. Right.
Sample that.
Pop this was weird. Oh snap! Oh,
Oh, I heard the money bag drop, baby.
I feel like I'm twerking.
I heard the
What's going on?
coin bay, baby.
What? Shouts
On Cash App.
out to Cherie. I'm gonna keep that on.
She
So
said, I see your name, Simone, and Sims on keys. I needed a new tag name for my Instagram. And that's all it was. It was just like, I played keys and it was a little bit more catchy. Uh, Fun fact, I used to be Tetris Simone. I wanted to be all philosophical about a favorite game of mine. However, like building blocks of life and tetranimos and boom, boom, boom. You know, they're actually called tetranimos. But either way,
see, and that's that dumb deep shit, right? What's like,
the shit that don't work.
come on, man.
It's the shit that don't work. And then I just simplified it. That was it. I've had 2 Instagram names, and that was my first one, Tetris Simone. Like people would just be like, "Yo, Tetris, boom, 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 boom." Nah, son.
Can't see myself calling you Tetris.
That was wild corny. I was wild corny like 6 years ago, and then I just again with the simple, it's just like that house party. Though I just needed something simple, and then eventually I went to Sims on keys. And and then that was it. It just stayed there. So now it's a tag. It's like, oh, Sims on this, Sims on drums, Sims on cam, because I just bought a Canon now, so I'm taking flicks. Sims on, whatever, Sims on bass. And, they'll hashtag that. It was something that it evolved into, which has become a running joke. And just funny love among the homies.
I love it. And see, this is the kind of stuff we get on the 6 Degrees Pod. You learn so much. We go deep. We go Tetra. What is it? Tetranima?
Oh my God, it was so corny. Well, it was just Tetris Simone. People call me Tetris or introduce me as Tetris Simone. And I was like, nah, I grew out of that. I was like, nah, I was thinking too much about that. That was wild.
You sound like a gamer. Just because the only association I have with Tetris, it could mean something else. It could be a shortened for whatever. I don't know. But when I think Tetris is a game.
Absolutely, it is. It did describe a huge part of my life, though. I love old school video games. I have an N64 hooked up to my TV right now. I got a Sega Genesis hooked up to the TV right now. I collect old school video games, so it definitely speaks to a very large part of my liking.
And that's one thing I also loved about the house parties that you had when we were on Putnam is like you had you would be in a for real jam session, and then off to the side on the couch, this dude's over here playing Mario Kart.
Like, it was real. Between that and Super Smash Brothers, it's not a game, bro. It's not a game. It's like dominoes. It's like spades.
You don't play with it.
No.
So we're gonna get into. There's a song for that. I'm gonna pull up a picture, and these are pictures that you've deemed viewable because they're all from your socials. And I go deep. Listen, I go deep.
Sorry, archiving. I didn't finish.
I also want to invite everybody who's tuning in. First of all, thank you for tuning in and continuing to watch. Listen, this is a dope show right here. I love it. If you would like to jump into the VIP section and ask Simone or just chat with her face to face or ask me something, or just tell her how much you don't fuck with Blank Bamboo. Say it to her face. But say it to her face. If you brought her smoke on Facebook ever, this is the time for you to jump in. Say it to her face because she's from the Bronx, and you have to get all of that.
What's that? I'm soft. I'm really soft though.
But you can use this link that just appeared in your chat, and that'll bring you backstage. And you know what I'm saying? You got something to say, you can say it. Or if you just want to just be like, hey, you know what? You're just a beautiful individual. I love you. Just say that too. All right, you ready?
I am not ready, but we just gotta press on.
All right, here we go. It's easy. We're gonna start easy, softball. But this is something that I wanted to talk about because I know this is a big part of you as well. And it's just so crazy how you said you hadn't touched the piano in years, and then all of a sudden you did, and then now we have this.
Oh, okay. So that is the band. Oh man, shout out to the squad, OJ and the Yams. That is my band. I am still in this band. We've been in the band for like maybe 4 years now going. And this was after maybe 3 years of being a band. We went in 2019 to Philadelphia. And this was maybe also about 6 months after doing a So Far Sounds. Shout out to So Far Sounds.
Yes.
We did our first So Far in Philly at Cambridge Sound Studios. This man with the Route 61 shirt. Oh my gosh, I got to remember his name. Lord have mercy. He'd kill me. He's a beautiful man. He's the owner of said studio. And the two other guys with the yellow shirt, as well as in between homegirl Lee with the cut ripped jeans. That dude next to her, not the black guy, the white guy, those were both the sound engineers and like the intern. They were beautiful people. That was the first time we ever stepped into a studio and started recording our own music.
Wow.
So we were there for a day and a half. We had booked like 18 hours and we went in there. We drove out there. We're in the stew all night and then did the half day the next day. He let us sleep in the studio, bro. That's how much he loved us. He loved us so much from the So Far that we did there. He gave us a discounted rate. And mind you, this dude has plaques on his wall.
Wow.
He's gotten awards and plaques from working with the OJs and all these funk bands from the 70s. Like, it's crazy. He's a legend. And why I can't remember his name is beyond me right now. I'm so sorry. And so that was, I believe, after everything. We were done with that day and a half. We slept in the studio. It was the greatest thing ever. The studio is beautiful. And the next day, we just decided to take a photo taken by the homie, Sarah Craig. I think her Instagram, Sarah Casey Photos, one of the best photographers, my ex-roommate before she moved back to like Michigan. Beautiful human being. She took this beautiful photo of the band and many more from that time that we were out there in Philly. So shout out to Cambridge Sound Studios. I love that space, and we will definitely be back there in 2021 to finish this damn album.
Speaker, come on, I'm waiting for it.
Studio album, man.
I'm waiting for it. So give me a song for this.
Ooh, just a song, any random song?
Any song.
The Weekend by the Lesson GK. The chorus of that song is "Every day is the weekend when you're working hard to fulfill your vision."
Nice.
It's a beautiful song, yeah.
Shouts out to them. That
definitely like commemorates this moment, I feel.
Dope. So what's next for OJ? So you said y'all are gonna go finish that?
Yeah, man. We are working on booking 2 gigs at the moment. A previous So Far employee reached out to us recently about booking something at the end of May. So we're excited about that. If that follows through, then we'll be performing for the first time since, we did something on my rooftop in 2020 at random over the summer. But prior to that, it didn't, nothing happened from like the beginning of the year. So it'll be our first time in 2021. And if, when those things go through, we're also working with another nonprofit organization to do something on Juneteenth.
Nice.
So those are the next things that we have in store at the moment. And yeah, as of now, I got the squad, most of the squad with me, supporting me as well at the house parties. Snacks is always there. Dad comes through. Yeah, shout out to Snacks on drums. My goodness, my right hand. And we got Lee up in the Bronx. She supports. We all still keep in touch, Yeah. But it definitely slowed down. Not gonna front. However, yeah, we're definitely getting back into it. We just started weekly rehearsals again.
Dope. And y'all got an IG page as well, right?
We do have an Instagram. We don't have anything out but a few So Far videos that they've blessed us with when we've performed at those spaces, and a couple of little local joints, in the interim. But we definitely have some heat and new sounds, and yeah, man, it's a vibe.
Dope. All right, cool. Here we go. Next photo.
Oh my God. First of all, that's my pappy. That ain't me.
I know. So when I saw this photo, I was like, I don't know who this is. It's definitely a family member because that is Simone's face.
Come on now. That is my Faja. Like in the 70s, I believe.
And
Yeah.
that face, that's the energy that you get, right? It's really intense. You can be very intense. And this is it.
I am my father's child. I'm a split image of my daddy, for sure. And that is him, I think, in his early 20s, he told me, I believe. So
Shout out to that shirt, man.
that's got to be late 70s. Hey, Eric, what's good? Hey.
Yo, E in the building. Oh, I forgot to say, Kadre had a suggestion for that last one too.
Yes.
Friends are for Dionne Warwick.
Oh, that is so appropriate. Absolutely.
And then Saint says she loves Dionne Warwick.
Absolutely.
Eric Lewis in the building. What's up, brother?
That's it.
See you, bro. You missed your cameo. You made a cameo earlier. Maybe we'll run it back. Cherie says a song for my father. And he looks so young. Yes. So give me a song for this one.
Oof.
Your daddy.
Oh, gosh. Who is my Faja? I would say something by like Louis Vega. I'm trying to think of a dope song by Louis Vega because he loves house music. But if I can't think of that, then I'm gonna think of maybe something by Kaytranada because honestly, Kaytranada's house vibes are untouchable. Don't know if you got a girl. Because he's looking real like.
What's the name of that song?
I will steal your girl in that photo. What is the name of that song? We're gonna find out, and I'm gonna just text you. Can we
cool. If you know it in the chat.
Your girl. I think it's Be Your Girl.
It's called what?
I think it's Be Your Girl.
Be Your Girl.
I think so. Yeah.
All right, I'll find it. Either way, we'll add it to the list. All right, here we go. You ready for the next photo?
Absolutely not.
Bam.
Oh. So
come on. First of all, before you say anything about this, let's just look. I'm about to zoom. Look at this moisturization. Come on. Glowing.
That was the fresh shower, some castor oil.
Look at this hair.
And a ring light with the fresh twist out.
Come on.
When the heat hit this type of hair, it puff up. And after the braids, you got the dookie braids at night. You let those out.
Yeah.
So that's why you had the little horns on the top there. Because you got the dookie braids at night. You let those out and then you take a shower and the shit puff out. And I'm honestly, if you get to know me, I'm a real fool. Like I love to laugh. I love to be silly and foolish. And that was me being ridiculous, allowing the internet to see a part that they don't get to see often.
Yes. Yes. Look at glowing, dewy. Look at them eyes, y'all. That's what we getting them right there.
Stop zooming.
Look at them eyes. That's what gets them.
Stop zooming. Oh no.
Cherie say, come on, castor oil.
Come on. Grill is in high.
Okay, I like that one.
You know what? Because I'm going to go with you on that one. That's a vibe. And I love that song. Cut it out.
Yes, love it. Good job, Kadre. Listen, Kadre gonna have a song for everything. This is his best segment. But he gonna always give you something about Prince though. Always. He gonna give you something about Prince.
Came in already.
Yo, look at Eric. He said Ace Ventura. That's exactly what that is.
Can you say Banaka?
All right, here goes the next photo. Oh crap. Here we go. All right.
Archive. So that was our first photo shoot with OJ and the Yams. And we all decided to wear like kind of coordinated warm colors. And shout out to Matt Ogilvy, who took those photos somewhere in Brooklyn. Yeah, again, I'm just really silly. And we had time. We had time. If it was a monkey bar, I'd have flipped over completely on the bench. So I didn't want to dirty up my clothes and flip underneath the bench and do something that I couldn't do. So yeah, that part. That's the story of that one. But that was definitely for a photo shoot, and I was just being who I normally am on the sidelines.
So give me a song for this one. I love the skyline in this. First of all, this is one of those pictures. It's like I'm just gonna get her because she acting a fool, but it turns out to be a great photo.
That's what you get. That's what you get, Bel-Ami. You tried. That's what you get. Let's see. Let's see. How glad I am, Melanie Charles.
Shouts out to the homie. How glad I am. I love the fact that every time I have this segment, there's always like one of the homies whose music gets called out. And I think that's beautiful because it's one thing to say you support or share it, but it's another thing to actually listen to it to where you can recall it. You know what I mean? And I think that's beautiful.
Yeah,
Shout out to Melanie. I know 2020 was supposed to be a big year for her, but hopefully 2021 makes that up.
She getting it. She doing it.
Absolutely. I saw her Tiny Desk. That was dope. And of course, because she's always dope. All right, here we go. Kadre said Somewhere in Brooklyn by Bruno Mars. And Cherie says All of That theme song by TLC. Yes.
Yeah.
I didn't know that was TLC.
Yo.
That's wild. And I see we had a couple people backstage. We're gonna get to y'all in a little bit as soon as this is over with. Eric says up.
I'm done. If it's up, let it up. Oh my god. Several seats, sir. You fresh. You funny, bro. That's funny. Face down, ass up. Boom.
We're gonna save that for another conversation.
I'm done.
I was about to be ignorant. All right, here we go. Next photo. Next photo. Ugh.
Oh God. Somebody was fucking slapping. I'm trying to remember it.
You don't get this face by accident. You got to earn this face right here.
God. First of all, shout out to Sultan Room. It was the first venue, like I said earlier, that I've ever decided to agree to host my house party in. They're a beautiful space and venue and need to be constantly supported. They are for the people, by the people. And, they really care about quality at that space. So yes, I don't remember which installment this was. We had 2 installments. We were about to have a third until COVID hit. And somebody was fucking slapping.
Yeah.
I don't remember who the hell it was. I got to look at maybe the other pictures before or after in that IG storyline to see if I can recall who the hell was busting grooves at that point. But that's what they got out of me in that moment. And again, shout out. I think it was either Matt Ogilvy or Sarah who caught that photo. They're phenomenal at what they do behind the lens. But yeah, shout out to my boy Daniel D. Drum on the drums. I forgot his name.
He clearly thought it was slapping too.
Hell yeah. Whatever was happening in that moment, my goodness, it certainly reflected in that photo.
So give me a song for this one.
Oof. Oh boy. Because there's probably all fam who was doing it. I'd probably say Click by Kanye. They fucking with my Click. I don't know. That's the first thing that came to mind thinking about.
That's good. That's good right there.
Family who's just, that are like Blessings by Big Sean, like Blessings to the Squad. Because those moments, they don't happen too often.
Yeah.
They happen a lot. I'm not gonna front. There's a lot of people who who just get me like, ugh. But that moment in particular, just grateful for the click, you know?
And it requires acknowledgement. You know what I'm saying? And
Thing, man, there's several moving parts in a moment like that.
yeah,
So shout out to the click.
absolutely. Absolutely. All right, here we go. Next photo.
Mm-hmm.
Come on.
Oh, sit down. Jesus Christ. Why is it still on the internet?
Come on now. Listen. Come on. Look at them legs. Yeah. Come on, girl. Shoot, girl. Let me heal.
Damn, 47. If anybody knows who the hell I am, it is a rarity. And now you flaunt it.
Excuse me. There's a fine woman on my camera screen.
Jesus Christ.
And I'm trying to slow-mo it up. Look at that. She ready too.
Oh, I hate your Zoom. I hate everything about your Zoom. I hate it. I hate it with a passion.
Come on now.
My gosh.
See, y'all listen, because some of these other women out here thinking they got you. You know what I'm saying? Just because you know what I'm saying, you want to put on a hat and a blazer every now and then.
Oh my
I
gosh.
ain't seen this.
Oh God.
Listen, no lie. I saw this. I had to reevaluate our whole relationship.
Yo.
I really did. Really did. Look at Eric.
I'm done.
Look at Eric. Damn.
Boom. Impressed by Beyonce. There you go. There you go. Kadre with the gems again. Here we go. Take it.
Freakum dress. I love it.
I'm fucking done. I can't. I told you I wasn't ready.
Listen. When I tell you I dig deep, listen. I does my research.
I done my research.
Cherie says On and On by Badu.
Hello. That's the sultry walk that came the hallway afterward when I was trying to figure out.
I love this. Hold up. Could Dre say I'm Coming Out by Diana Ross?
Boom. Appropriate.
Melissa says, oh, she ready. Hot summer. What? No, real talk. I saw this. I was like, huh? What?
These pants and these button ups.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shoot. She been hiding from everybody. Because you know why? Because this would be too much. Niggas would not be able to handle this. And with your anyway. Anyway, let's move on, y'all. Here we go.
Oh my God.
Freakum dress. We got freakum dress. We're gonna let this pause for 3 more seconds.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I hate you so much.
Next one.
Oh gosh.
I think this is the last one.
Wholesome again. This is my light ass being held by my Jamaican mother. That is my mama in the 80s, late 80s. And yeah, man. Big eyes. I'm glad I grew into them.
Yes. You're such a cute baby, though.
Oh, wow, thank you. And yeah, yo, shout out to the mumsy. You know, shout out to mumsy. So yeah, that's all I got. That's all I've got. As far as the song is concerned, I feel like I look like just blissful.
Yeah.
Happy.
You look also intrigued. Like whoever this is with this flash got my attention.
That's like I had a dream.
Oh, come on, man.
Clouds. Let's do Clouds by Bel-Ami.
Come on, man.
Bel-Ami. You should check him out. You might want him on the show.
Oh, man. Come on. See, that's what I'm talking about. Making me blush and cry at the same time here. Dre says a song for Mama by Boyz II Men. That would be a good one too. And we getting all these. Oh, I can hear them saying, "Oh,
oh my gosh."
Oh. And I thought that was the last one, but we do have one.
My.
This last one. It's a series, and we've already seen these, but it's just I think it's important. And boom for all of these 5.
Thank you, brother.
What's a song for this?
Oh, oh, oh. Maybe that can be blessings. That can be blessings by Big Sean.
Got you.
Blessings on blessings. Look at my life, man. That's lessons on lessons on lessons. Man, he speaks straight facts in that song. That's a beautiful piece. And I can thoroughly say that Y and I are fortunate to be in the position that we are in to cultivate this and then be supported by the community to make sure that this is an upstanding venue space, live workspace that is supported by the community and
Yeah,
upheld literally by the community. We cannot do this without you, and are incredibly humbled, thankful, and blessed for this entire manifestation of what we're trying
absolutely.
to embody for this culture, bro. So
That was the There's a Song for That segment of our show. Um, Let me put this in the chat as well so everybody can see exactly where you need to go and have the link to download this playlist. Gonna update it. Listen, I hadn't updated in a couple weeks. Don't come for me. Don't come for me. I've been really busy since I've been here in Houston. I've been here chilling with my fam, and that's priority. You know what I'm saying? So y'all fall back.
it's
But
okay.
that's you follow this link, you can subscribe to There's a Song for That playlist on Spotify. Once again, that was the There's a Song for That segment of the Six Degrees podcast, completely guest curated. And yeah, I can't wait to put these songs in here. You know, it's so interesting. And I always say this, the songs don't go together at all. No one, if you're making a playlist, you're not putting all this stuff together. But I think it's really cool. And when we go back and I think about when I listen to the playlist and I'm like, oh yeah, I remember, you know what I'm saying? I can actually recall specific photos for the songs now, which is I think is really dope. I wanted to get to before we get out of here. Um, we got somebody backstage who is, he's no stranger to us. And so I want to bring him on. I'm sure he's going to have plenty of things to ask you or say something to you. And then we'll get out of here because I know we're running short on time and I want to stick to the schedule. But here we go. Kadre, you ready? Give me a thumbs up if you're ready, bro. All right. Also, let me one more time invite anyone else before Kadre comes in. If you would like to chat with us, pop back here in the VIP section. You can use this link that just appeared in your chat. Click that link. It'll bring you backstage, just like Kadre is about to be.
Yeah.
Kadre, what's up?
Hey, good evening, good evening, good evening.
Evening.
Bel-Ami, my
What's
brother,
up,
my
man?
brothers.
How you doing, man?
I'm feeling good. I'm blessed.
Amen.
Yes, 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 yes. So, Simone, Sims
Yes,
on keys.
yes, sir.
Judging from that picture, it looked like you guys was having like a jam session or something. And from that face that you was making behind the keyboard,
Yes, yes.
I'm like, oh, she's got to be cold.
She is, for the record.
Yes.
And I'm like,
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah. So yeah, it looked like you were just, that you were just in the moment, like making that musical connection and everything. So yeah. So are you guys planning to have the what is that, the you call it the blank bamboo?
yeah, that's the name of the space.
So are you guys planning on having that as like an affiliates of the So Far concert series?
Well, it would be beautiful. I actually used to volunteer for So Far, and I got really close with the booking manager there, who's still working for So Far at the moment.
Yeah.
As soon as they get things up and running, we would certainly love to be a space to host their events here for sure. But they
Mhm.
have to get things up and running.
Awesome. So when this pandemic is behind us and when we're
Yeah,
able to work, just go about our lives again safely, then
absolutely.
I know where I can go and perform once I visit New York.
Yeah, Kadre, man, when you come to New York, we definitely gotta go to one of the parties, bro. Or just pull
Yeah.
up and chill.
Yeah,
Yes.
setting up.
Yes, 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 definitely.
But
And
I,
So yeah,
bro,
performing, do jam sessions, all of that.
I appreciate you, bro. We're gonna send you back and
Yes, sir.
bring on this next dude. I don't even know why this dude called in. You know what I'm saying? This nigga. You know what I'm saying? Yo, Cheesing ass nigga. Now, why you calling? Like you VIP or something. You ain't nobody. Look at you. I like this. I can talk shit and I can bring him in. And before he has a chance,
I knew it was Eric. I
kick him back out. You see how I did that? You see how I kicked him out before he had a chance to respond? You can't give a nigga like me control. Regardless, I'm gonna take full advantage.
oh my gosh.
All right, here we go. E, what's good, brother?
Yo, Sam's is good.
Hey, what's good, Eric?
Bro, you got
That
headphones?
dress though,
What?
You did.
that dress though.
Yes.
Mercy.
Hey, E, we're gonna have to fight over her, bro.
Let's not talk.
Bruh, nah, I ain't gonna fight her. I got mine, but I'm just saying.
I'm still
Goddamn.
fighting. Come on, man. This gonna be my hall pass.
Bet me. I gotta like
Oh
lose
man,
to do that again. Like in public at that. Oh Lord.
man,
That
I
was
have
from
Melissa bring a dress over there right now. Hush.
years ago. 6 years ago. I think that was like 6 years ago.
Did you hear him? He said he gonna have Melissa bring a dress over to you right now.
Lord have mercy.
Yes, that's what I said when I saw the picture. Lord have mercy.
Take the wheel
Yeah.
and drive.
I just had to go here and talk some trash, man. You know, if
Say-
Sims is in the building, I gotta get some in on that. You know what I mean?
She said, "I'm fighting."
She fighting too. Look, it's gonna be a look. A Royal Rumble.
That's funny.
You funny.
Nah, yo, that was killing though. But
Yeah.
yeah, I'm gonna just get on out y'all way, man. I just wanted to say what's up, share some love. You already know what it is.
Miss y'all, man. Listen, I'm gonna be back Saturday, and I feel good. I'm fully back, so I'm straight now. I can live a life. So y'all gonna see me a lot more.
Hey,
You're all right, bro. Appreciate you, man. Yo, Simone, this has been beautiful.
Absolutely.
Any parting words you want to leave for the people?
Oh man.
Before that, Cherie also said, Cherie usually jumps backstage too, but she says, no time to jump. She want to say you have a special place in my heart, and you know why. So happy B featured you. Yes, absolutely. Look at this.
I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Yeah. It's it's a beautiful thing. Like the relationships, which are what I thrive for, are what keep this culture pushing forward. Last thing to really say is just build organically. Like go in without intent on receiving something from someone. Like just build. Have a drink with somebody. If it's somebody you admire, let's just chop it up. Let's have dinner together. Let's go to a bar together. Let's just shed outside of the music shit, outside of the event scene and whatever. Build with your community. These are the people that are uplifting you. These are the people that you want to support you. You got to support them. And I feel like the easiest way to do that is to genuinely just come correct and be a friend. Like don't be transactional in what you're doing. Just build. You feel me? And I feel like especially all these jams that are popping up and stuff.
Yeah.
If you're not like a high end celeb, if you're not Ray Angry who got connects with the industry and all this other jazz, who's already doing something, people are gonna have to fuck with you first before they fuck with your brand.
Right.
So, in all sincerity, you got to come correct as a person, treat people with respect, work with integrity, and have quality too. Do this shit for shits and giggles. Don't just do this just like because you tired of playing in your room and then you're gonna bring the same vibe from your bedroom to the stage. That don't make any sense. You know what I'm saying? Work with intent, like I said, and again, just hypersensitive about what's brought into this city and making sure that it runs and that these people can start taking us as a culture seriously. Stop asking us stupid ass questions and know that we can be in a space 300 deep and not create ruckus and have the cops called and people harassed or whatever have you. That we're not a rambunctious race that does dumb shit all the time. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just want to again just push the culture and make sure that we're giving our due because we're the music makers, you know what I'm saying? We're the dreamers of dreams. We're the ones that do this and we're the ones that they emulate on the constant. We're the ones we're the ones that they copy all the time, like let's take it back. And as far as being a New Yorker, let's take the city back simultaneously. this is hopefully here to stay for quite some time. I look forward to passing the torch on and dropping gems and passing this on for it to be a consistent thing to really describe what New York City is, you know.
Mm.
Yeah, yo, that's pretty much it. I appreciate all the love and support. I legit can't do this without y'all. People like yourself, thank you, Bel-Ami, for creating a platform like this and doing what you do and doing it well, and highlighting not only the dopeness within yourself, but the crowd that you keep, the company that you keep. So it's a beautiful thing to see, man, and I look forward to this success. And you know, one day we're just gonna be sipping champagne on a yacht somewhere.
Listen, come on now.
You know what I'm saying?
Speak that.
And giggles.
Speak
Yeah.
that. Yo, absolutely, man. And this doesn't exist without the inspiration of people like you. So because you saw a need and you just filled it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they say be the change you hope to see in the world. That's it. Like I want to see these people highlighted. Okay. Don't wait for them to get booked. No, book them and make it happen. So I thank you. And also, if you want to follow Simone on her own personal IG, I'm going to put a link to that right now in the chat. Also, if you just scroll up, you'll see the other links to That House Party Though and to Blank Bamboo. Make sure you reach out. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. Stick around. I'm going to send you backstage. We'll stick around and we'll wrap up in a second.
Cool.
Yo, listen, that concludes another episode of the 6 Degrees podcast. But before we go, I just want to make you privy to a couple of other things that are dope that are happening. Make sure you tune into my brother's podcast, Real Talk with Robbie Tolan. Airs a new episode every Thursday. Also, this Saturday, Free Agents podcast, May 1st, 10 p.m. Eastern. Don't miss this episode. Last episode of this first season, and we'll be announcing our new time going forward this weekend. So make sure you're there for that. You don't want to miss that. And last but not least, whatever you're doing, make sure you follow, like, subscribe, share. Appreciate everything that you do. And if you are able to, go ahead and drop something in that Venmo or Cash App, and make sure you follow us on IG at 6D Podcast. And we're here each and every Wednesday, 9 p.m. You don't want to miss next week. Next week, I got my brother, Misha Savage. We're going to have a Cinco de Misha because it's going to be on Cinco de Mayo. And this is where I'm going to be. I'm going to be drinking all my margaritas in the house. So, yeah, make sure you tune in for that next Wednesday. And, yeah, y'all, listen, this has just been beautiful. Once again, this is the 6 Degrees podcast where, hold on, before I do that, because I got to do my spiel correctly. I got to come correct with my spiel. Get the music started. Here we go. Thank you for tuning in to this episode of the 6 Degrees podcast where instead of separation, we explore the ties that bind, focus on those things that keep us connected. I'm your host, Bel-Ami. Till next time. Peace.